Today I'm heavily caffeinated and didn't feel like combing my hair. Go Niners. Well, hello there everybody, I'm Photo Dave, that's my boring background, this is Toy Picks, and in today's video, Picture Perfect Pre-Orders, the weekly video where I discuss action figures that went up for pre-order in the past week that I think are going to look great under your lights and in front of your lens. Now remember that the QR code is in the corner there for you to scan and get your free action figure photography guide, as well as get signed up for the Toy Picks newsletter. But if you're not into scanning QR codes, there is a link in the video description below, and stick around to the end of the video where I discuss yesterday's Toy Picks photo, as well as yesterday's Patreon freebie, which if you've been watching for a while, you know is kind of redundant since everything I put on Patreon is free. Now, without further ado, let's talk about those figures, shall we? Alright folks, between the part of the video you just saw and the part you're seeing now, I took about half an hour to try to decide which figure I'd talk about first. Because I'm talking about 15 figures in this video, and I only know about 5 of the characters, and kind of a 6th one. And that's where I'm going to start first, and you'll see, as I've said many times in the past, just how bad of a nerd I am, because we're starting with NECA's Alex Murphy from Robocop. Now, I've never seen Robocop. Alright, that was just taking a second so you could stop yelling at whatever device you're watching this video on. It is on the short list. I know I need to check it out. I know what happens here with Alex Murphy. I know some of the things, but I can't help but love the figure even though I've never seen the movie. I talk a lot about if I could, I would buy every MkVI release. NECA is really winning me over with stuff like this. He's got 3 heads. He's got 5 hands. He's got the bulletproof vest that he's wearing, and the bloodied up one, the bloodied up stump, the blood that comes out for his hand. He's got 2 pistols. This is an absolutely disgusting figure, which means I absolutely love it. Yeah, awesome sauce on this one, NECA. Now, from Murphy, I'll be going to 2 figures that I know nothing about, but in my defense, I don't think anybody really knows a whole lot about these guys, and the first one I'm going to talk about is the Panda brother Yang, or Yang. Let me know in the comments, because I'm not sure which one's correct. I've heard them both. It's kind of like the MkVI thing. Anywho, I love what Furay Planet is doing with these things. Check out the gauntlet. It's got like a little bit of a patina going on. There's plenty of gold. He's got even cloth goods going on here. Yang here, or Yang, is clearly the angrier of the Panda brothers. And he just looks absolutely wicked. And I don't know what else to say about this thing. He's just perfect. He's one of those figures where you almost don't even have to do anything. You just pick him up and you put him on a table and you start taking pictures and just let the figure speak for itself. It is absolutely glorious. Next up is Panda brother Yin, who I have to say looks a lot chiller than his brother Yang Yang. It's kind of like Yang Yang is Wrath and Yin is Mikey. He's just kind of the more relaxed, the more calm one. I don't know what else to say here, except look at all the crazy detail. Just look at how much more peaceful this figure looks than the last one. Yang Yang, not a very peaceful figure. Yin, he's chilling. He maybe needs some video games and a pair of nunchucks. And now I'm taking it to a character that I actually know, believe it or not. This is Guile from the SH Figuarts Street Fighter line. Now, as many of you may know, Jada Toys has stolen my Street Fighter II love and heart. Guile looks good here, he does. and he's got one more set of hands than what the Jada figures typically come with. He comes with a couple different faces, he's got his sonic boom effect, clearly he's got a comb and things like that going on. He doesn't have bicep swivel, and I'm wondering, because I'm not actually sure here, is this a reissue of a figure that SH Figuarts did way back when? Because I gotta say, I think that for the money and for what I dig, and even though I'd go towards Jada anyway, I think Jada might be winning this one, only because it really has, like, this one just has one additional pair of hands compared to what the Jada one has. Maybe the comb. I don't know if Jada has the comb or not. But yeah, I don't know. Now, if you're into SHF Street Fighter 2 and you get this Guile, I'm not going to hold it against you, but for my money, I think I'll be very good with the Jada Toys version. Taking it back to things I know absolutely nothing about with case closed, Conan Edogawa. Or is it Conan? I'm going with Conan because he looks a lot more like an O'Brien than a Schwarzenegger. Anywho, this kid here from SHF just looks fun. I know nothing about it. I know it looks like it was a manga. It also looked like it was an animated series in '96. I did do some research, but it just looks like a fun kid action figure. We've got a soccer ball. We've got a rocket-powered skateboard. We've got a crazy little watch, like he looks like a spy or something like that. All kinds of craziness. He's got 5 sets of hands. He's got, I think it said 4 facial expressions. He's got glasses with that little thing on it that looks like he's looking through some kind of techie thing. This just looks like a fun action figure, and I'm sure that if you know what's going on when it comes to this manga or anime, whatever you prefer, you're gonna want him, because I kinda want him, and I don't know anything about this thing. And speaking of things I know nothing about, we have from Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Frieren, and I'm going with Frieren because she looks like she's some kind of priestess, or maybe a magician, maybe a combination of both. I don't know, but one thing that makes me think priestess is she's got an extra set of hands or arms that are clasped together like this, like she's praying, which is something I don't have any action figures that do, so it kind of threw me off a little bit, but it's cool. I like it. I like that there's a lot of variety in what these things can do. It makes me happy, but she's got all the expressions, she's got all the hands. She's SHF, so if you're into SHF and you know what's going on with Frieren here, she's gonna look fantastic under your lights and in front of your lens. Now, I think I'll take a break from all the stuff that I know nothing about and get back to something I actually know-ish. And now we're looking at Jason Momoa's Aquaman from SH Figuarts for the upcoming movie, blah blah blah, nobody cares, the DCEU is dead. But I will say this Aquaman looks incredible. Now, if you've been paying attention to SHF for a while, they've had a very strange sort of thigh cut that's really visible and kind of an eyesore. I mean, it works, it seems to be really functional, and all that's good, but it kind of throws off your eye. This Aquaman, if he has that cut, they hit it a lot better, and hopefully that's what they do going forward, because this thing looks absolutely fantastic. I think the Momoa head sculpt is great. I love all the crazy water effects that it comes with. It actually looks like an Aquaman. He's got an additional head, he's got 3 optional hands, he's got the trident, he's just got all the good stuff, and really, it just looks like a great Aquaman. If I were into movie figures, this might be the Aquaman I'd go with, even more so far than the one I've seen from Mafex, which kind of makes me feel blasphemous. And now, from the hit anime series Shy comes Shy, a figure that you think I know something about because I said that so convincingly, but really, I know nothing. Which, let's be honest, that's pretty much what you suspected. What I do know She just looks like fun, and she's an SH Figuarts figure, which means she's going to have all the articulation. She has 4 alternate expressions. She has 1 alternate unhooded headpiece. She has 3 left hands that are alternate. She has 6 alternate right hands, and she just looks like fun. Fun fact here, I'll be the first person to have a massive anime action figure collection that knows nothing about any of the said anime action figures, because I just think they look cool. In fact, maybe I should just start loading up on Amazing Yamaguchi now. No, Dave, no. Focus. Focus, man. Anyway, if you know something about Shy, pick this thing up. If you think she's cool, that is. Also, from the hit anime series Shy comes Spirits. Now obviously I don't know anything about this figure either. I know she looks good, and I do know that she comes with 4 interchangeable faceplates, 4 pairs of alternate hands, an unhooded headpiece, a flask, and a liquor bottle. Ladies and gentlemen, those are props you can use with other stuff. And since she comes with a flask and a liquor bottle, I'm kind of curious with what the story is with Shy, so let me know in the comments. I'm picturing now she's some kind of pirate or something, just judging by what she's wearing and the coat over the sleeves and the crazy little gold thingies on her shoulders. I need to learn words. Yeah. Anywho, that was Spirits. Oh, thank goodness. We're back to something I know. With ThreeZero's DLX Mark 6 Iron Man. Now, I dig it. I dig ThreeZero. Their MDLX line with Transformers has been remarkable for me. The Optimus Prime from last year was my figure of the year. Megatron from this year is looking really good. And I have to imagine this Iron Man is going to be just as good as those guys. He's got 8 alternate hands. He's got the pieces that are like weapons that go around his forearms. He's got what looks like the little Jericho missile pods on his shoulders and some other missiles that go over his shoulders. The back opens up for all the wings. He just looks incredible. I don't know, man. The one problem I have when it comes to ThreeZero's DLX line, they say they're 1/12th, but they're clearly much larger than any 1/12th line that's out there. If they scaled a little better with maybe MkVI or even Legends, I'd definitely be more apt to grab these things. And why did I say that? I know everybody says MkVI are tiny, but in reality, they scale pretty well with Legends. Prove me wrong. Also, ThreeZero Mark 6 Iron Man. Very cool. Next up is yet another example of me being a bad nerd. We have from King of Fighters 98, Ryo Sakazaki from Storm Collectibles. Now, with Storm Collectibles, I kind of have the same complaint that I have about the ThreeZero DLX Iron Man figure, and that is they're too big for 1/12th, so they're kind of a non-starter for me. That said, they look really good, and I've never heard people say that Storm is really bad quality or anything like that. Most people that get them seem to think they're really insanely good figures. This one in particular comes with 3 alternate head sculpts, 5 pairs of hands, and 2 effect pieces that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, and he just looks good, as do all Storm Collectibles figures. He's exclusive in the US to BBTS, so don't worry, this guy, just like all the other figures I talk about, will have links in the video description so you can find him nice and easy. But yeah, he looks cool. I know nothing, and he's Storm Collectibles, so he's too big. But he still looks cool. I'm so conflicted. And I possibly need more caffeine. Is caffeinated water really caffeine? Next up, from the Rosado project, we have Resetsu Sekiko. And I said that like I knew what I was talking about. It took me a while to memorize that whole little part. She's 1/10 scale, and she's rad. She comes with way too many things for me to even try to talk about on here, so make sure and check her out in the video description below. She's just awesome. There are too many words and too few ways I know how to actually express how cool a lot of this stuff looks. She just looks like one of those figures that you almost need on your shelf. And 1/10 scale isn't necessarily my thing, but I do talk about 1/10 scale, so she's cool, and I thought I'd better bring this one up. Now, we only have to get through one more that I don't know anything about, and then we close it out with two that I really sort of know things about. So, I don't know about you, but it'll sure be a sigh of relief for me. Yes, friends, for this one I'm not even trying. As you can see, I've busted out the pink laptop because I've determined that caffeine water isn't actually caffeine. So let's get started on La Plus Darkness. I'm going to read the synopsis directly from Big Bad Toy Store. Pay close attention. La Plus, the leader, is now a figma. From the popular VTuber group Hololive Production comes a figma of La Plus Darkness, leader of secret society Holo X. This figma includes 3 faceplates: a straight face, a smiling face, and a frustrated face. La Plus Darkness also comes with additional parts and accessories to create fun scenes. Be sure to add it to your collection. That's La Plus Darkness, another figure I saw and thought, hey, I should talk about her. She's pretty rad. And now, stuff I know things about. Thank you. We have first the B-1 Battle Droid from Star Wars The Black Series Gaming Greats line. And I'm talking about this because when it comes to the Battle Droid, it doesn't need much. It needs its blaster. That's honestly it. And the Battle Droid for the Black Series looks really good. So I think if you're into the Gaming Greats stuff, this is a figure you might want to consider picking up just because it looks really good. I don't know anybody else that's making battle droids right now, and Star Wars The Black Series, they tend to make pretty good droids, so yeah. Go get this bad boy and be happy, because I just talked about something I kinda know about. Except for the Gaming Greats part, I got nothing there. And finally, I'm fairly lenient when it comes to army builders, and this army builder set, I kinda dig it. I'm not gonna get it, because they don't have relaxed hands, but I am talking about the Star Wars The Black Series Ahsoka Clone 2-pack that is a Target exclusive. I think they look really good, but I've just gotten to a point in my collecting where even the troop builders have to have additional hands or they're not for me. Still, these things are absolutely glorious, and because they're absolutely glorious, they're sold out at Target. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the link to where they're supposed to be on Target's website in the video description. Go down there, bookmark that link, and hopefully they'll come back in stock and you can grab them. And if you can't, hunt down those Targets. From what I understand, when it comes to the Black Series, some of those exclusives are getting a little easier to find at good old Target. But yeah, I think these clones look really good. I need the relaxed hands, and yeah, I'm a picky collector, it seems. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that when it comes to this past week's action figure pre-orders that I think are going to look phenomenal under your lights and in front of your lens. Now, number 1, comment below and let me know if I missed anything. Number 2, comment and let me know, are you thinking of picking any of these up? And number 3, I did good tonight because I did all that in pajama pants. That's right. I don't know what that means, but I do know that caffeinated water is not in fact real caffeine. Now, up next, we have yesterday's Toy Picks photo. Yesterday was Independence Day, which is what I call every Friday, where I get to show off some independent action figures that I have, and yesterday's feature was Crocker from Furay Planet. They just know what they're doing. Now, I'm not sure that Crocker is long for my collection because I picked him up to be kind of a, third-party leatherhead for my samurai turtles, and those seem to have pretty much gone AWOL, so I'll probably end up getting rid of them, but that doesn't mean he doesn't make for some fantastic photography, because the detail those guys put into these things is glorious. Now, the QR code is there, so you can scan it and head over to Twitter and talk about maybe what you think of the photo, maybe what you think of Crocker, but even more so you can comment with your own independent action figure photo, because, like I always say, seeing your guys' stuff, that's where the fun's at. And now it's time for yesterday's Patreon freebie. Yesterday's Patreon freebie is all the high-res image files and Photoshop files of the photos I took this past week. Now, I do that for 3 reasons. Number 1, if you're a toy store or comic store owner or an owner of any other pop culture shop, it gives you free images that you can use in your marketing. Number 2, it makes it so that if you just dig the photos, you can use them as wallpaper, you can download them, put them on your wall, do whatever you want, decorate however you want with these bad boys. And 3, it makes it so that anyone that's trying to learn Photoshop, or even someone that really knows Photoshop, can check out the structure of the way that I set up my Photoshop files and see if maybe it can help them, or see if they look at it and say, no, I have a better way, I really like the way I do it. Either way, it's kind of a teaching tool, gets me really stoked. So the QR code is there in case you dig any of these photos and you want to scan it. Head over to the Toy Picks Patreon and download them for whatever use you're thinking you want to use them for. My goodness, caffeinated water, again, folks, do not rely on that stuff to make you coherent or do simple things like keep you awake. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was this week's installment of Picture Perfect Pre-Orders. As always, thanks a ton for taking the time to check out the video. It is massively appreciated. And until next time, have fun and happy snapping. See ya. Half of that last sip was for effect.